We've recently reached day 2000 in this Minecraft world. During that time, we created glass factories, massive netherwort farms, automated redstone production, and whatever's behind that door, and a whole lot of other factories as well. So with this area filled up with quite a lot of builds, I think it's time we move on to a new area. But before we do that, I do think this area right behind us needs one final factory. And it's going to be nothing big. It's just going to be a basic warehouse where we get all the blocks we use a lot. And it's mainly going to be stuff like stone, andesite, cobble, and I'm going to try and do all the different variants of those blocks that I use a lot. So for that, we need to do a little platform at the back, so let's quickly get that in. So just a speedy little montage, and don't worry, all the kangaroos you saw in that time lapse got rescued from the area, so no animals were harmed during the making of this platform. But this platform is also then used to round off the area, and I almost want to say finish off this area for now. And what I did is I went ahead and also added some fences blocking it off, so we've got this whole area enclosed. And if we go on this side, we've got these two platforms, we've got some fences enclosed over there, or closing in this area, and the same on this side. So everything's done neatly now, and it almost feels a lot more finished. I do, however, want to make it clear that I am saying I'm finishing in this area, but it doesn't mean we won't come back and revisit this area, because for now, I need to take a break from this area, and it's time we expand into a different area where we can create some different blocks. But before we do that, let's quickly plan out a few builds in this area and get some automation done. Okay, so I spent some time in this area and we created all the little entrances onto this platform, not decorated yet. And then we also went ahead and added blueprints or footprints to the buildings we're going to have in this area. So in this area, we're going to do a smallish build, and this build's mainly going to be to create andesite. So this will be our andesite little factory, and we can expand on this later on by adding maybe granite and diorite as well. But for now, we're going to start with andesite. Then over here, we'll do a bunch of decorations. And if we head on over to this side, we've got this footprint over here. I know it looks a bit confusing, but this is just to remind myself that I might have to keep extra blocks open. And the reason why I want to do that is I want to duplicate the warehouse we did over there. You can barely see it through there, where we have the steel beams in the wall. And for that, we're going to need to keep the block behind it open as well. So that's what's going on over here. So we've got this footprint, we've got doorways going in, and I decided to maybe extend this back a bit. So it is off of the platform, but that's just to give it a different type of feel if you look at it from that side. I also went ahead and added a tree because it was important for me to see what these builds will look like if we had greenery in here as well. And I thought this area with the curve is quite nice for a tree. But what exactly will the block warehouse be? Well, this pile behind me is just that. So basically, I wanted to create andesite, and then also all the variants, and the same with all the other blocks. So we're going to do smooth stone, we're going to do stone bricks, we're going to do normal stone, and then we're going to do these deep slate variants as well with their slabs and stairs and so forth. Because these are the blocks I use quite a lot of, and currently I don't have any stone production. So every now and then I take a bunch of stone over to my basic smelter and I smelt it up so I have stone. So this is what I want to do in this area, is just create a warehouse where I can come quickly and grab a bunch of bricks, because I use them quite a lot without me sitting there crafting for hours. Well, not hours, but you know what I mean. I don't want to craft it. So that's what's going to happen in this area. So let's grab some create stuff and let's start building this factory. So first of all, we're going to start with the production of andesite, and for that I set up a little temporary board behind us. So there are basically 3 recipes that make use of flint with a certain block and some lava in a press that will give you a corresponding block. So for example, calcite and flint will give you diorite, red sand and flint will give you granite, and gravel and flint will give you andesite. So we know we have gravel. We've been making a lot of that while these factories have been running, but also some of our factories have a little byproduct of flint as well. So we've got flint stocked up everywhere. So with that knowledge, we can basically already set up the andesite and the granite, but the diorite's a bit harder because calcite's not renewable in create. Well, not yet. So I'm going to go ahead, grab the items, and we'll get andesite automated. So I've been thinking about it a bit, and I'm already going to rig this place to craft at least granite and andesite, so that if we do decide to automate granite in the future, we've already got it in place. So this build is a total of 13 wide, so I think what we need to do is both those blocks require gravel. So I think we just need to run gravel in the background. So we'll just constantly have gravel on a loop running back and forth, and that should be okay if it goes through here. If this one picks it up, then the next stack will go to the next one. That should be fine. And then right in the center of that should be this. That looks like the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. So right in the center, I'm going to do a draw control. So if we have access in our inventory, we can just deposit it. But mainly it's just to make the system work for now. And on the side of those, we're going to do these 2 draws. And that's basically because we want andesite to be stored in the one and granite in the other one. And on the other side, we're just going to come up with our trims. And over here, I'm just going to add trims all the way up like this for now. That's just basically a placeholder for our drawer slaves, because from that we're going to have to pull flint, and from this one in front we're going to pull, say for example, if this is the one for the for andesite, we're going to pull gravel, and the same on this side, we're going to do this, and the one we pull from here will be red sand or whatever for the item we craft in this area. The next thing we're going to need will be basically the basins with the presses. So what I think we need to do is maybe add the basin over here. Yes, because that's fine, because it's going to spit out over here, and then the same on this side. And then on top of those, we'll have our presses. So we'll do a press right there and a press right there, which is fine. And then over here we're going to add our funnel that will be for picking up the items. And then at the back here we're also going to do a funnel like that, but we just need to click it because we want it to pick up the items. And then over here on these trims we will have brass funnels, because we need to add a filter that says, okay, you only dispatch red sand, and this one, for example, only dispatch gravel. And then on this side as well, we'll do another funnel. This one will just say dispatch flint. And on the opposite side, I think all we're going to do is we're just going to have a normal andesite funnel. And what this is going to do, it's just going to create a constant loop of the flint going round and round, where it's taking it from the various storage systems in this industry. And that is basically it for all of these kind of things. The only thing we do, however, still need is lava. I nearly forgot, we also need to add another funnel on this side. That is just to pick up the item that we dispatch from there. And the last thing we do need is the lava. And for the lava, I'm just going to do something like this. I think we just pump it in through the front, and that should be it. We can do that just to see lava flow in. And I think that's quite compact. I think that could work really well. So we've got everything in. Now we need to do is get power over here and also get all the resources over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link it up to all the storage drawers in that area. I'm going to lock these drawers and put the relevant items in and add all the filters, and then I'll bring power over as well, which shouldn't be too hard. I mean, we've got the power plant right over there. Well, we've got everything connected, everything sorted. We've got lava over here that we're bringing over from the tanks right over there, and the belts are also all powered. All we need to do is we just need to add a in-case chain drive right there. All of that should turn the relevant ways. We have all our blocks and everything in place, and in this drawer contains just a few temporary items. So if we place it down, does it take items out? It does, and we have things being made. I see the problem over here is we do not have a filter on that. Let's quickly grab a filter. Okay, so we have the filter now, and now it's pooping out all the granite. So we've got andesite and we've got granite going, and like, again, it's not the fastest of farms, but it will slowly over time produce whatever we need. And it's kind of funny seeing the two lava sources come together from both the pumps. So that's it. That's it for this farm. We can speed this up a bit more if we want to, but I don't know if it's necessary. So with that said, the next thing we need to do is tackle the block factory over there. So I'm going to prepare myself for that, and then I'll see you guys just now. So we're over here at the block warehouse, and what I'm going to do first is sort out storage, because we need a central area where we're going to store everything, and then I want to build the factories or the workshops or contraptions all around it. And I was thinking we've got a door right over there. We have a door right over there. So what if we do the storage area in this space? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this should be the center. So what I'm thinking is we'll go down. I'm just going to dig down randomly like that. And then over here, we'll have our spruce trims come up. We'll have an additional one, and we'll do the draw control on that. And then on either side, I'm just going to fill it up for now. And then we can either remove drawers or add drawers as time goes on. So let's just do it like that. And now that we have all of this in place, we can just go ahead and lock these and quantify them. So that's going to be our storage. And now we need to start filling these with blocks. Now, some of the blocks are pretty easy. We're going to have cobble, which will just automatically come in from a cobble generator. And then after the cobble generator, we're going to have to make normal stone. So we're going to have stone. And after that, I think we're going to have maybe stone bricks. And then I think we need to do andesite. And after the andesite, we can do maybe polished andesite and granite. And then the 2 deep slate variants. But to make that happen, we're going to have to bring deep slate into the system. So we're going to do deep slate there. And I do want to make some smooth stone, and we're going to do those 2 in the center. So I think that is pretty sorted. So we've got cobblestone, stone bricks, andesite, smooth stone, deep slate. And then the deep slate we're going to turn into the 2 variants I use the most. We've got granite over here, and then we'll do polished andesite in this line maybe. Okay, so that's perfect. But now we don't need a second andesite and granite drawers. So what I can basically do is just pick these 2 up and move them over there. But to do that, I first need to hook this up with trims, which I'm going to do real fast. And we've got the storage in, and I went ahead and added all the blocks I think I want to automate. And these are some of the blocks I use the most. Granite, sadly, it's just that one. We can maybe run it through one of the workstations as well. I might switch out granite and the deep slate bricks, but I'll have a think and I'll see. So what I did is I marked out different locations. So we're going to have processing on this side. We've got processing on that side. These 2 sides will make the different variants of these blocks. And in the center here, we've got smelting, and I think I'm going to stack it a triple layer. And the reason for that is we need to do cobble to stone. Then we need to do stone to smooth stone, but we also need to do cobble deep slate to deep slate. And the reason why we're doing cobble deep slate is because the mining drill gives us cobble deep slate, and we need actual deep slate to craft these items. So that is the idea, and that's what we're going to do. So first of all, how this is going to work, right over here, we're going to have ourselves a little shaft, and we're going to do another one over here. And then right after each of those, and right before each of those, we're going to do an additional shaft and just link it up with belts like so. And then what we're going to do is in the middle, we're just going to look down, and we're going to place ourselves a mechanical saw. So for you that don't know, if we take an item and we send it through, it's going to create one of these variants. So if we send, say, stone through this, it's going to create one of the variants you can get from using the saw. So be it bricks, be it stairs, be it slabs. So how you control that is you can put the item in here. So say, for example, I want stone to come out and I want to create stone bricks. Then I'm going to place a stone brick in this spot, and that will ensure that this mechanical saw will always craft stone bricks, which is how you control that. But we do not have enough space to set up a filter for each and every one. So we're going to use actual filters and list and add all these items we want to craft into that set filter. And that should just cycle through it. So it will do 1 slab, 1 stair, 1 slab, 1 stair. But the thing is, when a stair block goes through, it will maybe do 6 slabs, but only 1 stair, which is not a problem. So this little contraption over here, we're going to repeat a total of 5 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'll bring you guys back once I just have this little basic contraption in. So I did modify it a bit. We can fit in 4 on each side, which is perfect because now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we automate all the stuff at the top with exception to those 2. And these 2 are then the items we're going to get in, smelt up to craft everything. So now that we have all of this, what we need to do is we have to come up 2 over here and the same in front here. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a draw slave on that side and a draw slave on that side. And we're going to do a brass funnel over there and a normal andesite funnel over here. And this one we just need to make sure is set to pickup. And to prevent items from spilling over the front, we can just do 2 copycat panels like that. So this should basically be it. So we're going to put in the item we want to take out. Let's say it's cobble. Cobble's going to run over here. Then we're going to do a filter over here that says, okay, with the cobble, make us some slabs and some stairs. And they're going to go through, and this thing will just pick it up again and deposit it back into storage system. So that's basically it for this entire design and how all of this is going to work. So I think what we need to do next is just connect all of these, create all of these, and just connect them up to the drawer system that we have running underneath the platform. So we've got the trims connected, and I went ahead and added all the filters on these lines. So we know this one will only put out cobble, and same with this stone brick, and then the andesite. But the next thing we need to do is set the filter. So we know with cobble, we want to create cobble stairs and cobble slabs, and we're going to say it's whitelist, and we're going to do that. And we're just going to chuck it in there. So now we know that this will only turn cobble into those 2 items. Then for stone, we do exactly the same thing. We take the filter, we add stone stairs, stone slabs, we say check, and we just chuck it into the filter. Now that's going to turn stone into those 2 items. But for stone bricks, it's going to be a different story, because we're going to have to say, we're going to do a filter, and we're going to say you have to create stone brick, stone stairs, and stone brick slabs. And then we can add this filter in here. And now, because I just placed that item there to remember what needs to go here. So what we can do is we can replace that with stone now as well. So now we know that this one is stone bricks. I just placed the filter just to remember. And this is going to turn stone into those 3 items. And now we can just go around and do all of these as well. What we did over here, we're going to have to do with the 3 deep slates as well to get those block variants, but that's not a problem. So I'm going to run around, do all of those things, and I'm also going to see if I can get power in this area for now, and then we'll connect it all when we're done with everything. So we've got these connected up to the power, and you can see it's running in the right direction, but I didn't do this side because I just want to show something real quickly. So we're going to do this one over here, and what I'm going to do is we're bringing this up with encased chain drives. We just need to flip them so they're facing the right way, and then we can do this, and you can see the belts are running the wrong direction. So ripping those out, we add in our gearboxes, and you would think that all of this needs to turn the same direction, and that's wrong. So this needs to be turning this way to make the belt go that way, and then this belt also needs to be going that way. But for some reason, this mechanical saw actually needs to turn this way. So by using gearboxes instead of encased chain drives here, we can get that effect. So we basically have this turning this way, that one turning this way, and that one turning back that way again. So we can do all of these, and they should work. So I'm going to do the 2 on the side, and then we can connect this system to the drawers over here, because you can see I ripped out the trims, and we can see if everything works. And just like that, we have it all turning the right way. And to test it out, we're going to plonk the trims back in there. So now we know that works. And if we had any blocks in the system, they would be dispatched. Okay, we've got some granite going, and that seems to be going pretty well. It's creating the 2 different variants. Yeah, there we go. And it's getting the granite from the system over there, which is perfect. So this is all just going to go till it reaches the draw limit, which is 2048, I do believe. So now that we know that the granite's working and the andesite's working and even the cobble, we can go ahead and just add maybe some of the deep slate in here. And we can see that also came out over here. I think what I'm going to do is I might change this down to all dispatch only 1 item at a time. That way we can ensure that the other drawers get filled up as well. But I would say that is great success. And now the only thing left to do is create the cooking area that bakes the cobble into stone and the stone into smooth stone and the cobble deep slate into normal deep slate. We've done those a million times, so I'm just going to add it in and I'll bring you back when it's done and I'll just show it off. And we have this absolute beast of a smelter running where we have 3 items coming through. The first one being cobble, the second one being stone, and the third one being cobble deep slate. So they'll slowly make their way through the system and into the drawers. That will put them into respected drawers over here, and then they'll get processed into whatever blocks we need. You can also see the stone, the cobble, and the andesite has completely run its course, and there's nothing more to craft with them. All those drawers are full. So now the only thing to do to test this is to actually connect it. So if we run down here and we right click and we place a spruce trim there, we should receive items. Yeah, items are coming in. We've got cobblestone coming in and we've got cobble deep slate going in. Are those cooking up? Yes, it seems like they are. It's really hard to tell with the deep slate because they kind of look the same more or less, but there they go. And now some of the stone will also get cooked up and turned into smooth stone, and that will only go until we reach a total of 2048. So I would say all of it's done and it's working perfectly. Now there's only one thing to do. We can't leave the builds like this. No. Because you see, they look kind of barren. It looks like a bunch of skeletons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plonk down the schematic cannon. I've got 2 schematics loaded already, and we're going to build these structures. So sit back and relax as we do a little quick montage. And just like that, we finished the build around all these contraptions, and I do think this area came together quite nice. We do need a lot of things to happen still, but as you can see right over there, we created this little garden, so we can actually just go and sit down over here, talk, and just have a really good time. But we also installed the little path over here that runs up all the way over here, and we've got this little cart on this little track that just brings andesite over to this factory over here. And I thought andesite would be appropriate because if we head on over here first, we have these containers over here as well, and I see I've missed a few blocks over here, a few trims, just to get the dark on that. But we've got materials, so we've got the concrete powder, which will just represent flint. We've got sand, and over there we've got some andesite. I should actually change that to gravel, and that just represents all the items we need to craft the blocks we have in here, which, well, they're not going anywhere because I think the system's full. And then I just added a bunch of shelves and stuff in here for storage and just to fill up the area. I might add another beam in here and something like that, but apart from that, I kind of like this little build. And then if we head on over to this side, we've got this little pathway that I showed previously. It's connected. I do need to add all the paths and stuff, but not too worried about that at the moment. We will get around to it. But if we head on in over here, I've got this whole system, and over here is where we craft blocks into the various blocks that we use quite a lot of. And a lot of them are for the deep slate kind of stopped working because we ran out of cobble deep slate that's being smelted and everything, so I just need to bring some over. But a lot of the other blocks are full, like the smooth stone, the andesite's full, the slabs are mainly full, those are usually halved. But it's looking good. It's looking good. And in the center, I just added a bunch of storage. So over here, if these are full, we can add some other variants of those blocks in these little drawers and in these barrels and chests. I added a mason's table in here, and so it's just basically a little workbench and storage overflow for varieties of these blocks that we don't have storage for over there. We can just add over here. I might link these drawers all with a controller and somehow just make it work, and then it will also be functioning. And then over here, exactly the same, we've got all those blocks running in. So generally, I think this build came together quite nice, and I really do like what it looks like, and I think it's an appropriate build to close off this corner of this factory with. We are, however, by no means finished. We need to do paths, we need to add more containers and stuff, we need to do something in this corner, and we still need to relocate the gold farm, which is in the barrel somewhere over there. and just fix up and sort this whole area. But I do think we need to take some time and move on from this area, and revisit it whenever we need to do something here. But for me to show you all what's next and what I have planned for the future of this world, we need to head on over to my creative world, where I also do all my planning. So let's jump onto the creative world real quick. So we're currently in the creative world, and it's a creative world I update weekly. So you guys will see the builds I got planned, they're already in the area. But I also experiment in between episodes with changing up the areas. So the gardens, I'm going to look at adding moss to them, like I did with the seating area, just to bring in a bit of more greenery, because it is very brown. So we'll keep the brown on the edges and next to the paths, and then we'll just do greenery in these areas. I know I did red flowers over there by the seating in the survival world, but if we fly on over, I do actually think the blue flowers on the ground looks a lot better. But this board behind me is the main reason we are in the creative world. It's divided into different industrial regions. So this one over here is the one that represents the mesa, and as you guys can see, we've got the basic block factory. So I can rip this out, and we can actually remove those that we're creating andesite. And these are the things that we still can create or add to this area. So I said fully automate andesite, that's spelled wrong, andesite alloy farm, and then dripstone, netherrack maybe. Let's do a create mall, and then also a concrete factory. The create mall I then broke up into this area, and what I mean by mall is it's basically an area where I can walk in and I can just grab a stack of the gearboxes or stack of electron tubes or stack of belts or whatever I need in that moment. These 9 items is not the final 9, but these are the 9 I hate crafting the most, or that I use the most. But like I said, it's not final, I might add to that. So this is something I'm working on, because I know there's been quite a few recommendations of auto crafting these, and I will, but we need a bunch of other stuff as well. And to get some of the other stuff, we need to look at some of the other areas. So these two go hand in hand, they're not final. Then I want to skip these two first, and then I want to hit over to this one, which is the nether farms. And I am thinking of doing a nether tree forest or nether tree farm in the nether itself, and not an overworld, a basalt farm in the nether and all its variants. Not because I build with it a lot, but maybe, who knows. But I would like to automate that. And then I do think I want to do a wither skelly farm. I'm not sure I'm going to do that yet. I don't know if I'm going to try and do a perimeter with create mod, or if I'm just going to use mega torches. I don't know. Then over here we've got random farms, which might go into certain areas or just go into their own little districts. And that is like the chocolate part of create, because I know there's create confectionery, so we can do that. A store or warehouse just for all the frame blocks, so it won't be a big project. And then last one is further automate the farmer's delight mod, because we have some basics, we're growing the crops, but we still have to chop it all and craft all the foods we want and stuff like that. So that is something we can look at as well, and that is under random farms or random things to maybe do. Now to come back to these two. The first one is the flower forest area, which we've already got some farms in, and these are the farms I'm thinking for that area. We're looking at a honey farm, a moss farm, a wool farm, leather farm, meat factory, and a bamboo farm. Then we've got a leaf farm and a cactus farm as well. And these are things I think we should add to the flower forest area, because they're all important. I might end up grouping the leather and the meat all together with the farmer's delight mod and automating that all together. But this is then a brand new district, and it's the ocean industrial area, because I don't feel like automating some of the water items on land, and I think it would look cool if we have some sort of water industrial area. So that will be reserved for stuff like kelp farm, spickle farm, a lime dye farm, prismarine farm, a quartz farm, and a glowstone farm. And I know these two don't sound like ocean items, but I am going to use a different method to get these items that require the ocean. So that is what I'm really excited about. So we're going to start branching into these two, and I might start with just building a factory in this area while we plan the ocean industrial area. But to be honest, I'm super excited about the ocean industrial area. So I am going to have to do a lot of planning, because I want to do it right. I don't want to do something that's been done. So that's going to take time. That's going to take time to plan it, because it's also difficult to do a bunch of builds underwater, because how do you show it off? How do you do a time lapse or a build montage if I can't have a camera at an angle? But it's all problems for me to solve. But that's the idea, and I would like you to go down to the comment and add something or tell me if there's something you would recommend for any of these areas, and we might be able to look into it and we can see how we go from a comment to an actual build. But let's get back to the survival world. So we're in a place that we haven't been in in a very long time, and that's the supporter tunnel. A tunnel where I take a name from every video, or 2 or 3, and I just say thank you for commenting, liking, giving suggestions, and being part of the community. So because we haven't done it in a while, I'm going to do a total of 8 names in today's episode. So let's go. Storykeeper Withers, Yalsoff, Trickvis, Ethan Kirk, Inky Squid 18, Air Dragonborn, Daniel Wilson, and Matt Norton. Thank you a lot for all being part of the community, giving feedbacks and comments, some very, very useful insight on certain mods as well, and just being around. I really appreciate it. And if you want your name in the tunnel, then head on down to the comments, leave a comment, be part of the community, interact on the videos, and who knows, maybe soon you will find yourself in this tunnel. Also remember, we do have a community Discord, link for that down in the description. So now that we know what's next for this world, I think we should do a quick comparison, show you what the mesa looked like before and show you what it looks like after. So here we go. And what a change. I think it is such a big difference from where we started to where we are now. And I'm excited to see what new area we tackle and transform as well and fill with a bunch of create contraptions. But enough about that. Thank you for watching, and remember, like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Also remember to check out the Discord, and if you feel like it, on the Discord, apply to join the Community Vanilla server. Till next time, bye for now.